Speaker, according to StatsCan, families in Atlantic Canada are hardest hit by the Liberals' carbon tax when it comes to home heating fuels. On a year-over-year basis, families in New Brunswick are facing increases to their home heating bills of over 50%, and it's over 75% in Newfoundland and Labrador. Liberals believe heat pumps will solve this problem, but their carbon tax is already forcing families to choose between heating and eating. When will Liberals do the right thing, cancel their carbon tax, and give families in New Brunswick and Atlantic Canada the break they need this winter?
The Honourable Minister for Official Languages.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what is clear on this side of the House is that my colleagues opposite are suffering from the ostrich syndrome with their head in the sand. I think we really have to recognize that the climate change is real, and we really have to take action. Once again, Mr. Speaker, as the Minister responsible for COA, I have seen firsthand the devastation on the ground. And I think really what we do need right now in the province of New Brunswick is for the province to return the money on the federal tax to its constituents in New Brunswick as opposed to keeping it in the federal coffers. That's really what would be helping Atlantic Canadians right now.
The Honourable Member for New Brunswick Southwest.
Mr. Speaker, no one is taking that minister's advice. No one in Atlantic Canada wants to see home heating fuels double this year. Right. Nobody is asking the federal government to make heating more expensive. The Liberal carbon tax is fueling inflation. Even the Governor of the Bank of Canada says so. It is driving up the price on energy. It is driving up the price on food. It is driving up the price on life. When Ontario, Alberta, and New Brunswick were able to reduce taxes on gasoline, home heating fuels, we saw prices go down. Under this government, they're going up because they keep raising the carbon tax, and they're going to triple. They need to stop.
The Honourable Minister of Veterans Affairs.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Anybody that witnessed Fiona in Atlantic Canada would understand there truly has to be measures taken. And this government has taken measures to make sure that we're going to be able to live in Atlantic Canada. And in fact, the heat pump announcement is a very important part of making sure that we help Atlantic Canadians heat their homes this winter. We have and will continue to address the climate change issue. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Coast of Bay Central Notre Dame.
Mr. Speaker, what that minister just said was a pile of baloney. He should do a meteorology course. Back home today, winter is setting in. Newfoundlanders and Labradorians are cutting their Disney Plus subscriptions left, right, and center. But what they're finding with their Disney Plus savings is that it doesn't even give them 1 gallon of oil per month. Wow. Will this left-wing government do the right thing and cancel their plan to put carbon tax on Atlantic Canadians' fuel this winter?
Yeah. The Honourable Minister for Natural Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I think the one thing that we can agree on across the aisle is that affordability is very important.
No baloney. Fried bologna sandwiches first.
You've got all day. Take your time. Okay? The Honourable Minister from the top, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think the one thing that we can all agree on across the aisle is that affordability is extremely important to Canadians and certainly to all political parties. We have taken significant measures to address current affordability concerns through doubling the GST tax credit and this morning through the investment of $250 million to accelerate the transition off of home heating oil. It is also the case, no matter how much the Conservatives attempt to mislead folks, that 8 out of 10 Canadian families in places where the federal backstop is in place get more money back than they actually pay in the price on pollution. It also bears stating that the Conservatives misled Canadians during the recent election campaign when they campaigned on putting in place a carbon tax. Seeing their...
The Honourable Member for Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie. Mr. Speaker, we've just wrapped up COP27, and the world can see that on the climate crisis, the Liberals say one thing and do another. Apart from Japan, Canada is the only country, the country that gives the most to oil companies in the G20. According to the Climate Change Performance Index, Canada ranks 58th out of 63 countries evaluated. Bravo, impression. impressive. And what's more, the Minister of the Environment was inviting oil company lobbyists to the Canadian Pavilion during COP, even though we were talking about a catastrophe. When will they get a serious and coherent policy and wake up? The Honourable Minister. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's very important to fight climate change, and as I said, we have implemented a detailed plan to fight it, and it will accelerate the prosperity for Canada, and our government has committed to eliminate public financing of fossil fuels by the end of 2022. We've already gradually eliminated